Hey everyone, so today we have a really pretty different set of nails to do. My client is going to Disneyland and so she wanted some Disney nails. We didn't go all out full on Disney. We just decided to go pink, girly, glittery and add some Mickey and Minnie's. So I've already gone ahead and prepped all of the nails. When I say this, I mean pushing back her cuticles, etching the nail plates, dehydrating the nail plate and priming. And now I'm going in with acrylic application. Obviously I've applied my forms and I'm just creating my nail bed for the pinky finger because this is going to be a French nail. So I've applied the bead at the free edge where I want my wall of the smile line to be, keeping it quite high, and then I'll go in with the cuticle bead and then I'm going to move on to the next nail and allow that to set so I can go back and file it crisp. So on this nail we are using Snow White and we are just going to do a full white nail. This is Snow White from CJP and I just find it a really lovely white to work with. White can be really difficult to work with, but this one, it's not sticky. You can see it's not sticking to my brush. It just works really, really well and I really love it. It's such an easy white to work with. The brush that I'm using today is my CJP size 12. I always swap and change between brushes. I am waiting on another new brush that I'm really excited to use. It's the CJP Big Boy that's just been released, so I can't wait to get my hands on that. So I'm going in with my file and I'm pushing that file right up to that wall. I'm not pushing down onto the form or the nail plate, I'm pushing it directly onto that nail bed area. And now I'm going to go straight in with Magenta from CJP. If you're using a design powder or a powder that is not a strength powder, then you will apply a clear base first before you even do your nail bed. But because this Magenta is a strength powder, there is no need to encapsulate it and there's no need to put any clear underneath. And I know you all say, well, what will you do when she comes for a redesign? I will just file it back to a thin base and probably cover with a gel polish until the next time she comes and it's grown out even more. So there are ways around not applying a clear base, but today I didn't apply a clear base and we just went straight in with the colours. Pay attention to getting that colour right up into them wings as well and over that smile line so it files real nice and crisp. So moving on, I moved directly onto the index finger because the middle finger form had slipped off. She had just been on a sunbed and obviously used all that lovely moisturising stuff that makes the form slip around here and everywhere. Even though we have sanitised all of her hands and my hands and washed them, you still have that residue on the skin. So I've moved on to the index finger and I'm just going in with Crystal Glass, creating a really thin clear base because we are going to go in with some glitter. The glitter that I'm using is from the Glitter Fairy and it is stunning. This is called Prom Queen. You can order it on back order because she mixes it specifically for the order, because it is a part of the limited edition Mix It Up Mondays, which I absolutely love. This glitter was so mesmerising. My client was like, oh my god, I wish we had have used that first because she just would have had a whole set of this glitter. It is lush. So the way I always pick up my glitter is I will dip my brush into my monomer, into my clear, grab a tiny wet bead, dunk that into my raw glitter and then I will place and prod around the nail. And as the acrylic is still wet, I will then dip my wet brush into the glitter and then place it onto the wet acrylic already on the nail. And that way you just avoid applying, over bulking the nail where it's not necessary to keep adding more clear acrylic, sorry. As you can see, I'm doing the middle finger all magenta. I always start at the free edge, depending on how big the nail is and how long my client wants their nails, but I always seem to get a better cuticle application when I do the first bead at the join between tip and free edge. And so the natural nail and the tip is the first part of the nail that I will create, and that just works for me, but you can do whatever you feel comfortable doing, whether that be 1 bead, 3 beads, 10 beads. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get the job done. So now all the glitter is set in place, I will go in with crystal glass and encapsulate. So I'll place my bead at the cuticle area. I get the back of my brush behind that bead and blend it into the cuticle area without touching any of the skin. And then I will drag the bulk of the bead down, leaving a nice bit in the apex area so that I'm not dragging that acrylic away from my apex area and then making the bottom end, the tip end, you know, really heavy, because then you're just going to spend years filing and then you're going to have nails with no apex. So always make sure you're aware of where you're dragging your bead and where you want your apex. So after all the nails were finished, set and all that, I've removed all the forms and now I'm going in with my e-file. And as you can see, with this tapered bit, I'm literally just going over the surface, but I'm mainly going around the cuticle area and sidewalls to really make sure that that is flush, because if they're not flush, that is when you're going to have issues with lifting and things like that. So getting the cuticle area is really, really important. Getting it flush is important. So now I'm moving on to my hand file and I'm going sidewall, free edge, and then I will go around the nail, up one side, around the cuticle area and down the other side, contouring that nail into a beautiful shape. And as always, you all know that I will turn her hand around to face me to make sure that the nail looks beautiful from all angles. Make sure you're always looking down the barrel of the nail and the side of the nail, making sure everything is perfectly uniform from every single angle. After they were all filed, shaped and buffed, I've gone ahead and applied some top coat onto the white nail. I've done this because I'm using black acrylic to make the Mickey and Minnie, and if you were to do this straight onto acrylic, then if you're swiping your brush around, you're going to end up staining the white and then you'll have like black streaks on the white. So if you're always going in with like a dominant colour, you can go over with any colour, but I've gone on and top coated the nail beforehand to make it a lot easier and to make sure that my white stays white and doesn't get any black acrylic stain in it. So I've placed my first bead, tried to keep it really round and circular. I have never ever done a Mickey or Minnie before, so this was a first for me too. I was really, really happy with how it came out, and so was my client. She absolutely loved it. So I'm basically trying to make sure that I'm picking up the same size beads for both ears, because you want them to be even. You don't want one looking more, you know, bigger or fatter than the other. You want them to look the same kind of size and roundness. And yeah, anyway, I was really, really happy. So when I'm happy with that one, I will do the same onto the other hand. But on the other hand, we are going to apply a little pink bow with the same magenta we've used on the rest of the set. And this obviously will be for Minnie. So when we were both happy with the Mickey and Minnie, I'm going to go in and just place 3 little tiny Swarovski crystals on the pinky finger along the smile line going towards the edge of the nail. And then I will go in and use my CJP tack-free top gloss and just paint a thin coat of this onto all of the nails, going around the crystals but not over them so they don't lose their shine or their cut. and then I will cure that for 60 seconds in the lamp. I did advise not to go with top coat on the Mickey and Minnie, but she insisted she wanted them shiny, and so what the client wants, the client gets. So we did apply top coat onto Mickey and Minnie, and then I will apply top coat when it comes out the lamp and it is cooled, and that will be the finished set of nails. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today. I know it was a little bit different to what I usually do, but I am trying to change up a little bit to make it more exciting for you and you're not getting bored of seeing me. So yeah, if you did give it a thumbs up, that would be amazing, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then I would absolutely love it if you would. I love you all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.